Good day and welcome to my channel. I'm Lee Johnson, and today I just want to have a quick chat about angels and actually discerning angels, because I've picked up a bit of a problem here. But first, the intro. Okay, concerning angels, I think the first thing to do is to try and determine what an angel is. I don't particularly see much difference between demons and angels. Um, it's kind of difficult to actually define both of them in definite terms, really. When it comes to angels, though, you'll find a lot of consensus revolves around the demonic beings, spirits or entities, forces that are more closely related to the earth realm. And so they tend to want to help us with particular earthy problems, like career, money, love, all of these things that we require in our organic life, if we can put it that way. Whereas angels are usually considered to be forces that are more concerned with spiritual aspects, enlightenment, and things like that. So although a lot of people will call angels to do things like healing or help with career and things like that, the problem comes in here. Are they calling an angelic force or a demonic force? Is there a difference between the angelic and the demonic? Are they the same force, but they're just two different sides of the same coin? It's very much how I actually view the whole thing, is that, we speak about the angels and we speak about the demons and we separate them into these two separate camps, but they're actually one and the same. They just have a dual aspect. I mean, if you go to Marbas, for instance, from the Goesha, he is a healer. He can heal you from any disease, but at the same time, he can cause that disease. So you have this duality that happens, but it all depends on who you speak to. Some people will say that the demonic is part of the lower world, whereas the angelic is part of the upper world. Are they really? Is the upper world and the lower world separate from each other, actually? Or are they just part of the same world? They're just different aspects, they're different vibrations, different... it's very difficult to say what they actually are. We can go even further. If we have a look at what Adin Steinsaltz said about the angelic. An angel is a spiritual reality with its own unique content, qualities, and character, and that angels are beings in the world that is the domain of emotion and feeling, further maintaining that an angel may be an impulse or a drive, say an inclination in the direction of love or a seizure of fear or pity or the like. He goes on to qualify then that the essence of an angel, therefore, is defined by the limits of a particular emotion in terms of itself. And therefore, an angel is not merely a fragment of existence doing nothing more than just manifesting an emotion, but that it is a whole and integral being, conscious of itself and its surroundings, and able to act and create and do things within the framework of the world of formation. And then if we have a look at what Zalman Shakta Shalomi actually said in a conversation to the Dalai Lama. When we speak of angels, we mean by that beings of such large consciousness that if an angel's consciousness were to flow into my head right now, it would be too much for me. And the Tibetan Dalai Lama continued to actually question him about the angels, asking if there's both negative and positive angels. And he said, it goes like this: even the negative ones are positive. Their job is sometimes to create negative energy. There are angels also for punishing and for testing. This is in our tradition. Zalman then goes on to say, ultimately there are no angels. Ultimately there is God. But the garment God wears appears to us as an angel. So God has a little finger, and the little finger, as it were, has a glove, and the glove has another glove, and the outermost glove is what we would call an angel, or what we would call a wind or a force in the universe. But what moves them is always the power of the Creator. So, you can then look at somebody like Doreen Virtue, who's made a huge amount of money on the angels and the archangels with her cards and her books and everything else. So, what are the angelic forces and what are the demonic forces? It does get very personal. And I think it's something you need to make up your own mind about, and try and get as much information as you can first, and then figure out what you actually believe. You can go with the idea that they are forces of nature. They are emotions, and they are the wind, and they're just things around us which are particular elements which create our existence. It's difficult to separate the angels and the demons at the end of the day. A lot of demonolators who have worked with the angelic forces, particularly within the framework of Enochian, will actually tell you that the angels are extremely difficult to work with. I find them very snooty. I find them to be very standoffish, and they don't really want to help us with our everyday lives. Whereas the demonic does. A lot of people have found the opposite. So, at the end of the day, what are they? It's personal. It really is, but very personal. However, the reason for this video is discerning angels. So, I've noticed it over the years, but I haven't really thought about it that much until I read some posts on Reddit. When it comes to angels, specifically archangels, there is this understanding in the Western society that the angels are good and the demons are bad, right? We know that. We all come across it. I've spoken about it extensively on this channel, that there is no really good or bad, positive or negative, black or white. We shouldn't separate the dualities and put them into separate camps. They are one and the same and part of the whole. You have to create that unity and that balance, but not really the topic of this video. But angels, especially archangels, are considered to be good, right? So you get somebody who is going about their usual spiritual practices, and they get contacted by an archangel, and it seems to be more often than not Archangel Michael, and quite often Raphael, especially if it's somebody who's requiring healing or something like that. But they get contacted by this archangel, and they don't even question it. And there's a danger in this. When we talk about demons, and we're talking about demonolatry, and we're even if we're talking about witchcraft and the gods and goddesses, we often say, and it's something that is specifically taught, is to learn how to discern that the spirit you are talking to is the actual spirit that you want to talk to and that you think it is. Because quite often an astral parasite will come along, and they will see that the person isn't as experienced maybe, and they'll go, fantastic, this person is trying to talk to X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna pose as X, Y, and Z, and I'm gonna go in there and just take over. And this astral parasite comes in and says, I am demon, or I am God, or I am goddess, whoever it is. And the person believes them. The person doesn't question it, because now all of a sudden there's this powerful force that is in front of them and is talking to them. So they don't question it. This is why discernment is very, very important. You've got to learn how to actually question the demon, how to test the demon, or the god and goddess, or the angel, or the archangel. Because it can often happen that it's not that entity, that spirit that you actually think it is. It's an astral parasite posing as that entity. So you need to learn how to test the spirits. And the problem that comes along with the archangels and the angels is that people don't question them because they are just immediately considered to be good and therefore beneficial for us. They are. They probably are. As we said, as we read just now, there are some positive angels, there are some negative angels. You can look at it from the point of view that the angels and the demons are not actually different. They're not actually separate camps, but they have a dual aspect. But they still embody the entirety, the whole, the unity of both those dualities. But as I said, angels and archangels are immediately considered to be beneficial and good. Therefore, people don't even question them, right? So you need to learn to question. You need to learn to test. Even if it's angels or archangels, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what entity or spirit it is, you test it and you question it. And if it proves to be that entity, brilliant, perfect, work with it. But if it's not, then you're going to get yourself into some trouble, because that astral parasite is going to attach itself to you. It is going to make you trust it, and then it's going to start creating fear and anxiety that it feeds off. And with that, you've got this attachment, and it's difficult to get rid of that attachment the longer it goes on. Okay, so I don't care what the spirit's name is, I don't care what class it is, I don't care what hierarchy it is, I don't care if it's the queen of wherever, I don't care. You test and you question the spirit before you start working with it. All right. Just wanted to put it out there because, as I said, I've been seeing, I've seen it over the years and I've never actually thought about it, but just recently I've been seeing these posts come through which are, I was contacted by Archangel whoever, and I felt so amazing and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, are you sure you're actually talking to that spirit? Because we don't know until we've actually tested it. If you've tested it, that's great, fantastic. Carry on working with them. I have no problem with that, but you've got to test it. Anyway, so that's me for today. Thank you for watching. And if you like my content, didn't say it in the beginning, so I'll say it now. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. You can hit the join button if you want to. I do have a new level now, the Demonic Wealth Web, if you want to join that. I did a video last week to explain more about that, so go and have a look at that one. I'll put it up. I'll put a link up here in the top. And yeah, that's it for now. And I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Cheers.